Yeah, we need to digest. I just didn't want to let it go.
Strange. What's the deal?
It was 6,000.
I know, when is that stopping? When is that?
Beautiful out, eh?
There's a certain number.
Doesn't get any better.
Put in.
Love the rain.
You're just lazy, you don't have to water.
Oh shit, man, when you were a kid, we could wash it with soap right now.
Annual limit.
Ah,
And this savings rate is simple. We can put up to 18. So, I mean.
Oh, yeah, they keep the sidewalk on.
He said he.
We had to remove a whole section of sidewalk by patch funding side, buckled all up in the air.
Well,
But it would be a way, and the most.
Going into the conference?
No, the walkway between the buildings, buckled.
when did it buckle?
Over the last couple of months, this road.
Oh, that's not long enough. That needs to sit for a few years.
Yeah. I don't want them tripping those old broads when they're coming out from Bingo and everything.
I need to.
This one here, I ain't gonna have football on the sidewalk.
What?
We
Oh,
did the
you're not gonna,
sidewalk on the side of your house, we did the sidewalk up
I
the
saw the dog, I came through the walk and I got there and of course it's much more, this was right on it.
We took care of it.
Yeah,
Go ahead. Get out of bed.
yeah.
And that broad next to the place yourself, we took care of her sidewalk too.
If they put it in.
With Larry and them.
Yeah. We had to do their sidewalk.
If we did and we'd do
That's the reason somebody's got to wait.
3,000. It has to be payroll deduction. So, but he would have to decide when. Maybe it's their full last paycheck.
Oh, this way we want to.
He has to put the 3%, but it has to be there.
Where are we?
Hey, how are you?
We're in our meeting. Right here's the lake of Trump. These are all three, this is the street of it, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
This is
Right here, we'd be looking at
This is the
industrial, 5
project.
industrial buildings from here.
This is our line right here. They want to take the industrial
You
building.
guys?
The street end go this way, that way, so 10 blocks, and this is the biggest one with bigger yard, but, I mean, I don't know if it's 10 blocks.
They can be parking trailers, they can be
They
parking.
can only go times a day, they can hear
How
that.
close is it to the school? That's the
Oh,
thing.
This is all school right there. Yeah, so somebody, you don't control it, you don't go in the mountain.
But so far, the folks that we have nothing. That's the way.
That's the way I would do it.
This is ours.
That's up to Joe.
Sure. If they can't,
Condos.
these are all our condos. I mean, right up, right, I mean, you're gonna be, you'll be able to see it.
From the lake, you can see everything back there.
Right here is what we go back and play back. Pool, but-
Something in the old.
Mrs. Lincoln says hello.
Oh, this is Lady Lincoln.
Oh, Lady Lincoln, I'm
Lady
sorry,
Lincoln.
Lady Lincoln. Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Patrick isn't here, so she's gonna have
What was actually restrictions for the lot.
Okay.
With light industrial.
Glasses in my pocket.
Here, take my umbrella.
You have enough for them?
Did somebody else's?
Come on, let's just go check and go.
Who's got a yellow golf cart?
That's mine.
Oh.
Lights are on.
Lights are on. Here, now I'm shutting them off.
Oh, Eric's got it.
So.
You can't shut them off without the key.
All right. Hi.
Good.
I was gonna see if you wanted to come over last night, because I had this copy, so I made a extra copy of that.
You gotta have a couple of $100. I was just trying to have.
But like the cabinet.
Yeah.
You put 10 commercial buildings, so it's not gonna affect the school buses. How's that happen?
And that Amazon plant is gonna have that.
Well, fortunately,
Maybe we'll get our packages and put them on Amazon. My last package is winding up at everybody else's house. No, the guys don't speak English, so they show them the phone, and they have no ideas. They just see the things at Noel's house, nobody's in Noel's house. Or they build the
You know
whole.
what, I don't think we're voting on anything tonight, to be honest with you.
They just go to the
It's all
place
for
they've been
discussion,
to
but
last
there's
time.
no voting.
Well, I've had the girl ask me how to read the buildings, you
No,
know, that's fine,
we did
but
that last month.
some of them
We
don't.
did the door, we gave approval for the, up to a certain price and everything else, so we're just, yeah. It's a different company, but last year,
I just wondered.
That's one thing, was that is good.
we said that he would have up to X number of dollars to look at, and the
The
other
guy asked
company
me
was
the
gonna
other
get a
day,
price
how
from,
do
never
you
reached
build?
back to him every 3 weeks, so we're just going to look at it. So, yeah. Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine, understood. Yeah, no, you can certainly listen in, you put it on your YouTube, and I mean, it's, but yeah, otherwise, and if you need to call, because you want to make a comment, feel free, but we're not doing any voting on anything. Okay. Yeah, no problem, huh? You're welcome, okay, okay.
Well, first the highway thing, and fix the hole, but it didn't fix the blowout.
They got some couple, four guys or something like that.
Right.
Eric,
Have
Have you ever used a landscaping design program?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, we put the posts up and then, we're gonna build the shallows.
I've been messing around with the AI to do some landscaping.
But we had a blowout, right, in the middle of the path.
So you really haven't found a program that'll do it?
Make sure the water ball.
I've been able to do some pretty nice stuff with the AI.
We throwing some nails out.
I could show you.
I started playing around with Smart Draw,
Mine's
which
got
I think
rust
are
belt.
Canva.
I gotta pass.
I'm trying to do
everybody's
landscape
house.
design.
Larry used to do it like a
Holy moly, so much for our discussion.
Time has come. Well, my watch says 6:27, but my phone says 6:33, and I can see that 6:36, so we want to stay on time, so. Before we begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, though, let's just take a moment to recognize the passing of Judy Murphy, longtime resident from Pine Ridge. She was one of the originals, and a good friend to most of us that are here in the community. So let's just take a moment to remember Judy. All right, we're going to do the, we'll do the pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, it's May 20th at 6:30 something PM at 4801 Lakeside Club Boulevard, Fort Myers, Florida, and we are here for the monthly meeting of the Board of Directors at Pine Ridge at Fort Myers Village 1 Condominium Association. So can we get the roll call, please, Brian?
Andy Levin.
Here.
Bill Wayne.
Absent.
Bill is absent.
Debbie Kite is absent.
Betty is, Debbie is, also absent.
Michelle Camp.
Here.
Patrick Madigan.
Patrick is on the phone.
Patrick here.
Yeah.
Sharon Osborne.
Here.
Brian May.
And Brian, I'm going to ask you to put the microphone up too, because I have heard from people that if we don't talk into the microphone, they don't hear us when they're doing the YouTube thing. So
They
if
want to hear all our names.
I don't know what they want to hear, but maybe they do. So let's just make sure we're doing what we've been asked to
I
do.
hear you.
Okay, thank you. Eric, how about proof of notice?
Yes, it was properly noticed.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to read or waive the minutes from the last meeting?
I'll make a motion to waive the minutes for last meeting.
I second.
All right. Any discussion on it? All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? And it passes. All right, manager's report. Eric, please.
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to keep my report focused on the main operational items, maintenance work, and project updates that we have going on in the community. Over the past month, we've continued to move several important projects forward while also keeping up with routine maintenance, vendor coordination, resident concerns, and preparation for the summer rainy season. First of all, the gutters and downspouts throughout the community have been cleaned and flushed. This included the tall buildings, the larger strip row house buildings, the small houses, the villas. It's an important preventative maintenance item to complete ahead of the heavier summer rains, which we're having a little bit of right now. We've also continued working on drainage related issues. The Blackberry Drive drainage line was hydrojetted and vacuumed out. We removed a significant amount of buildup, including dirt, mud, leaves, asphalt material, and other debris. The next step will be additional work at the outflow, including clearing and improving that area so the line can function better moving forward. Sidewalk repairs are also continuing throughout the community where broken concrete or trip hazards are identified. There are some areas that I've wanted to see repaired for a long time. We're finally getting those corrected. And this is one of those items that may not always be exciting to everybody, but it's really important from a safety and liability standpoint. And I'm happy that we're getting it done. We're also getting pricing for preventative maintenance on the multi-story condo buildings. It's hydrojetting of the sewer drain lines, which is done from the roof of the multi-story buildings. The goal would be to reduce the risk of sewage backups, emergency plumbing calls, water damage, mold issues, insurance claims, all the things that go along with a sewer backup. The thought process is simple. If this kind of preventative maintenance helps us avoid even one major backup or water damage event, it could easily be worth the cost of doing the project. And it would probably be an annual maintenance issue because some of these lines are older. This would need to be done carefully, responsibly, but it's something that I hope the board seriously looks at as part of a broader preventative maintenance approach. The mailbox shelter on Windsor Club Circle and Royale Drive. Many of you are probably aware that this was found to, had some issues reported, and upon inspection, it was found to be damaged much worse than initially thought. It was very out of level, and I did not believe it to be safe. We placed temporary bracing to keep the area safe until we could take it down yesterday, which we did take it down yesterday. And we are going to take steps to, we're going to start to rebuild it now in such a way that the wood will not rot and deteriorate in the manner that it did this time. Direct burying those posts after 20, 30, 40 years, they are going to rot. So rather than burying them, they're going to be mounted to the concrete pad.
Can we do a quick inspection on all of the other ones? Are we doing?
We've
that?
started to do that. And none of them are in imminent danger like the others, but definitely they're all going to need probably a little bit of work. And knowing that this could happen with one, we should definitely need to keep an eye on all moving forward. If you remember a few years ago, 10 years ago now, 12 years ago, 2 of them were replaced or rebuilt due to auto accidents, but that's only 2 of them. So the one on Windsor Club and Royal is actually like twice the size of the other ones. So it was a big thing, and we had to be very careful taking it down, and was happy to have it done. I have a nice video of it coming down too, if anybody wants to see that at some point. Landscaping. There's been a lot of landscaping work taking place around the community. I'm pretty sure Sharon's going to give a committee report for the landscaping, but I just want to talk about some visible progress that we've made. Along Blackberry Drive, almost all of the backflows now have landscaping installed around them. The remaining ones are expected to be completed very soon. That has helped soften the appearance of the devices and has been a practical way to address a concern without adding unnecessary structures or cages around them, which we've discussed that, maybe getting like a cage that goes around them, but I don't know if that's going to make it look better or worse. So we need to really think about that. The planting of new hardwood trees. We have 14 new hardwood trees, 10 oaks and 4 black olive trees that will be done tomorrow. We also had tree trimming and tree work completed in several areas, along with continued grounds maintenance, weed and pest control, fertilization. The lake treatments have continued. They treated for algae yesterday. There was some algae along the wood seawall there. And the regular landscape service throughout the property. It looks pretty good. The one complaint I had for them was those little Robolini palm trees. For some reason, they really slack off on trimming those. And I told them at the landscape committee meeting that needs to be done. So hopefully it gets done in the next week or so, or else we're going to have to find out why. I want to, when it comes to landscaping, I want to specifically thank Skip and Jack for their volunteer efforts helping with the improvements. They deserve it. Their help has made a real difference. It's very much appreciated. And it just shows when residents volunteer their time and energy to improve the community, it really makes a difference. The overall approach continues to be targeted improvement, enhancing areas that need attention, preserving healthy, mature landscaping where it makes sense, and improving the appearance of the property without unnecessary large-scale removals. Pool, life safety, common area operations. There has also been continued work on routine common area operations. We're using our pool robot to vacuum the bottom of the pool. It works really well. The janitorial service is doing really good. Pool permitting. We have an administrative compliance matter, and the goal is getting an after-the-fact permit for the pool project, and we have a consultant doing that for us. We also had a fire alarm and emergency light related items addressed. We had multiple emergency items in the condo buildings that were not working properly. We had everyone replaced. And we also did our quarterly checkup of the fire alarm systems.
Were there any failures with the checkups on the fire alarm system?
None were reported to me, no. Fiber optic project continues to move forward. I think Andy's going to talk about that. But from the management side, we're continuing to coordinate with Xfinity, and we'll help residents any way we can. And we hope that they transition before the date. Shuffleboard courts. The shuffleboard courts, we've discussed them pretty much all year long so far. They are in need of some repair and improvement. Sean, who is our court man, he's been doing our courts for many years. He is planning on coming out here hopefully next week to go over them with me and figure out a plan for what we can do to make them better for everybody. So there's a lot of work happening around the community, the drainage, gutters, sidewalk, sewer line prevention, landscaping, tree work, mailbox, fiber optic, all that stuff. Some of these projects are very visible, some are behind the scenes, but they all have the same goal: protect the property, improve the appearance of the community, reduce risk, and stay ahead of larger problems before they become expensive emergencies. So thank you, and that is my report for tonight,
Thank you.
unless the board has any questions.
I was gonna say, does anybody on the board have questions for Eric? No? Okay. We accept it as presented, Eric. Thank you. Great job getting the projects moving forward. I'm going into my chairman's report. And as always, thanks to the residents, all the residents that managed to volunteer in the community and do something in the community. We appreciate every single one of you. I have only a few comments. I do want to let you know, Andy, Bill, and I completed our board member training for 2026. And I just want to encourage the rest of the board members. If they've not done so, you can do it online. So I'm just saying, let's get that piece done. We still seem to have some problems with the proper disposal of cardboard. And while there's plenty of signage at the dumpsters, my take is that there are some people who unfortunately just don't care. No matter how many signs or how big they are, they're going to do what they want. This is no different than somebody who leaves bags of trash outside the dumpster enclosures, or someone who doesn't pick up their dog droppings, or who ignores the speed limit signs. And yes, I see a lot of comments posted about putting cameras up to catch the culprits, but that's easier said than done. Hunting cameras would be the only viable option, because we don't have Wi-Fi in all these other areas. And then what? If a person could be identified and even confirm that it's them, what type of fine do you want? What is going to be appropriate? How is it going to be collected? How are they going to be notified? We're all adults living here, and I personally would rather strive to remind people to act responsibly, even if it's repeatedly. Those who will are going to, and those who won't aren't going to, no matter what. We've seen that with however many speed signs and lighted speed signs we have. Living under the eyes of cameras is not necessarily how I want to live my retirement years, but I'm open to any comments from my fellow board members on this issue. I also want to mention again that Eric has a manager's meeting on Wednesdays 3 times a month. This is the time to come find out what's going on in the community, or to bring your questions and/or suggestions to management, or call the office. You don't have to wait for a board meeting, especially when it's a management question or issue and not a board question. I think the issues that come before the board should be board related, not management related. So I'm just moving that forward, whether it's the questions that come before the board now, tonight, or in the future. Let's remember, management is management. The board does not manage the community. The manager manages the community. So if there are questions or comments, first go to your manager, and then if that doesn't get you some kind of response or answer, then you can bring it before the board. And that's all I have to say, unless anybody on the board has any comments about my comments. Okay.
The only thing I would maybe want to add, that if you're wondering if it's a board issue or a management issue, the board sets policy and the manager administers those policies. So if you look at it, if you want a policy change, it would come to the board. If something's not being followed, there's someone not parking in the right spot or something like that, come to the manager.
Right. Or you got leaves falling off your trees into your gutter, you bring that to the manager. Thank you. I'm going to go right into the treasurer's report since Bill is not here tonight. So this is limited. I will give a brief treasurer's report based on the April 30th financial statements. As of April 30th, the association remains in a strong financial position with total assets of approximately $5.5 million. For the first 4 months of the year, the financial statements show a total revenue of approximately $2.03 million and total expenses of approximately $1.85 million, leaving the association with a positive year-to-date result of approximately $186,000. This number includes the approximate 150,000 from the recent property easement transaction. You remember that was the 150,000 we were going to get from the property south of us. So from a more normal operating and budgeting standpoint, the association is approximately 36,000 under budget year to date, which is a good thing. Now, like I said, obviously this is somewhat limited in information, so you may have to wait until Bill gets back to really get a little bit more detail. It is still early in the year and some expenses occur unevenly depending on timing, projects, utilities, insurance, and maintenance needs. Overall, the April financials show the association remains very stable, liquid, and in a strong cash position. The board will continue to monitor the budget closely as we move through the insurance renewal period and the rest of the year. So once Bill is back, you can ask him. He will provide you any additional information that you may need at the next, or it will be at the next meeting. That concludes the treasurer's report.
And the balance sheet and income statement for April were on the table when you came in.
Okay, committee reports. Let's talk landscaping.
Talk landscaping, okay. The landscaping met with Down to Earth Company, with our company,
Into the microphone, please.
on May 14th. Can you hear me now?
Beautiful.
On the agenda was a discussion of, there were two members of the landscaping that represented the landscaping company, and what we had asked was to give us their thoughts on long-term landscape enhancement ideas for the community, which they did. And during the presentation, one of the concepts proposed involved removing and completely re-landscaping the front areas of 3 sample buildings. And what they were talking about was one of the multi-stories, one of the villas, and one of the single-family homes, so that people could get an idea of what they could do. However, the estimated cost, and then they gave us an estimated cost of the sample areas, and it was about $9,700 for the 3. However, after discussion, the committee agreed that this approach was not fully aligned with the overall direction and feedback we have consistently heard from residents. We've really heard that, I don't think there are residents here that want to see everything that we have growing just stripped down and new stuff put in, because we have a lot of nice landscaping going on now. So the committee believes owners generally want landscaping improvements where needed, but do not want to see all existing landscape material removed and replaced unnecessarily. It was discussed that Pine Ridge's mature landscaping are major assets to the community and help distinguish us from many of the newer cookie cutter developments throughout the area, which I think is one of our strengths when people come into Pine Ridge and look at it. Committee's goal moving forward is to continue enhancing and improving the landscaping while preserving the unique character and mature appearance of the community whenever practical. So the committee decided that we'll continue working together to develop a thoughtful long-term improvement approach, and we will continue to provide updates as progress is made. In the meantime, several beautification enhancement efforts have already been underway throughout the community. Over the past month, as Eric referred to the association, we purchased 195 new shrubs, 10 triple Christmas, they're the mini royal palms, 10 14-foot oak trees, 4 shady lady black olive trees, which I don't know what they are, but that's it. For comparison, the cost of the 14 hardwood trees was approximately $2,400, while the 195 shrubs and 10 palm trees located totaled approximately $2,600, allowing improvements to be made across many areas of the community in a cost-effective manner. Bruce and Matt have been working alongside Skip and Jack, who we greatly appreciate for all their hard work and assistance, to plant these materials in areas throughout the community where improvements are needed. I think that the efforts have already made a noticeable positive impact in many areas of Pine Ridge, and I hope that we can continue on that track.
Thank you. Do you have another meeting upcoming?
Yeah, but we haven't set it yet. We're kind of waiting to see some of this.
We'll put an email out.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. All right, thank you. Andy, you want to give us a fiber optic update?
I don't mean to sound like a broken record on the fiber product, project. But we are now getting to the point where it is moving from. Okay. I don't mean to sound like a broken record on the fiber project, but we are now getting to the point where this is moving from reminders to real deadlines. We are currently at approximately 430 completed installations out of 462, which is in the range we were targeting in order to transition from the old legacy coax cable system. Our current goal is to move forward on August 1st transition date for shutting down the old system. We are still coordinating final details with Comcast. Residents need to understand that this transition is happening. If your unit has not been converted by that point, you will experience loss of your cable, internet, and phone service until your installation is completed. Participation is not required, but the association is already paying for this community-wide upgrade, so residents should absolutely take advantage of it while installations are still being provided at no charge. There are also operational reasons for this needs to be moved forward. We still have fiber work to complete at the clubhouse and gatehouse, and eventually the old coax infrastructure needs to start being removed from the buildings ahead of the future painting project. For seasonal residents, especially, please do not wait until next year and return no service and delayed appointments and $100 installation charge. Most of the community has already switched over. At this point, we're simply trying to get everyone across the finish line. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions for Andy? Okay. Brian, safety, got anything going on for safety, please?
A few things. There has been a report that there may have been some individuals sighted down near the dog park at the Cypress area parking lot. Not sure if they were residents or intrusion people. Keep your eye out. We don't know where the people came from, but if anyone sees anything, contact the management office and let them know what's going on. The lights have all, I think, been checked and should be in pretty good shape. I just want to encourage everyone, we can't get around every night everywhere to check to see if lights go out. So if you have an issue somewhere where lights are not working or they're out, street lights or building lights, let the office know. We have ordered a light pole for the corner of Cypress and Lakeside Club.
And we got it yesterday. It came in.
Oh, it came in?
Finally, yeah.
Okay. It was on back order, but it came in, so shortly, hopefully, we'll be able to put up a new street light in that corner that people have complained that it's pretty dark for walkers at night. Alligators, I think, are they gone or there's still one out there?
I think there's still one out there.
The big guy?
I'm not sure. I don't, I know they've been trying to catch them and they realize we're trying to catch them now, so they're kind of smart. So yeah.
Got a smart alligator.
Yeah, but I think like if they wait a week, they kind of forget. Their brains aren't that big.
And I want to remind everyone that in the near future, we are contemplating changing the lock on the main gate at the front entrance. So if you have and use a key to that gate, when the locks are changed, it will no longer be usable. We'll announce when that happens, and if you need a key, you can come to the office and request a replacement for the new lock. That's it for safety.
Any questions?
Website, I have no reports, except I do want to encourage anyone who is using the advertising, the, what do they call that?
The free box, Pine Ridge free box? that
No,
thing, or-
no, on the website. there's
Classified.
A, for sale,
Okay. Classified kind of stuff?
Classified.
Okay.
There are some old items on there, may or may not be available or in use. If you have any kind of an advertisement in the classifieds, if it's no longer there or not available, please let us know so we can delete it.
Brian, is there a time frame when that stuff comes down? Like after 30 days, it automatically comes down?
No, there's,
Can we do that? I mean, not for nothing, but if I'm trying to sell something and in 30 days it doesn't sell, just take it down.
I can take it down after a time, but if that's the policy we want to do that, I can eliminate them, but some of the ads are for rentals and various items that maybe they're sold, maybe they're not sold, or maybe they're picked up or not picked up, and I don't want to
Maybe we-
just assume.
With units for rent and stuff, I would probably leave that alone, but like if someone's selling a piece of furniture or something, after 3 months, if they haven't sold it, I don't know, what do you think?
I think 3 months is a long time.
I mean, that's more than enough, you know?
If you want, we could develop a policy to do that.
Yeah, I think, yeah, I certainly think 3 months would be sufficient, but,
Is that a motion to eliminate ads after 3 months? And if they want to repost, they can repost.
Well, let's check how many ads we actually have that are older and decide if we need to do this for next month.
It's not a lot, and a lot of people are not using that classified system. There's only maybe a total of 10 ads. But, you know, some of them are a year old.
yeah,
So
I
what-
think more people are probably using that Pine Ridge free box now for things that are either for sale or available or whatever it is, more so than the website. The website, I would think, would be more like a rental.
Let's just look at them and use our
Yeah.
judgment. If they're a year old, maybe we'll take it down.
Well, and that's the other thing. I mean, should we,
If there's only 10, we could even call the people and ask them.
I don't know how many people use the classifieds on the website. And are we really using the website? Maybe we don't need the website.
No, we do
We
need a
need-
website.
Except
We
for
have,
bulletins.
yeah, we have the website, but,
Except for bulletins, you know, what use is being made of it? We have Team Reach for the golf group and the euchre group.
well, maybe what we don't need is classifieds on the website. You know, that might be what we take off, but we have to have the website. That's a requirement, I think, for.
Yeah, it's a
for
state
the community or
requirement.
whatever. Yeah.
It used
we
to
have
not
the
be, but it
website.
is now.
But, so maybe we can take a look at
Okay.
considering it, so. Okay. Let's move into old business. The clubhouse door replacement and access control project. Here.
Under old business tonight, we have the clubhouse door replacement and access control project. As the board remembers, this item was discussed last month and the board approved moving forward with the proposal from Action Glass. The project has taken more review than just a simple door replacement because the clubhouse entrance is not just a regular residential door. We have to consider the access control system, ADA accessibility, commercial door requirements, and fire and life safety concerns. We want to make sure this is done correctly and not just cheaply. After last month's meeting, we did have a second company come out, review the doors and the overall setup. They looked at the project. I was encouraged that they would give us a good proposal, but unfortunately, they never provided an estimate. And I contacted them multiple times, including up until today. We followed up several times and were more or less given the runaround. For that reason, and because the board already approved Action Glass, the proposal from them last month, we will move forward with Action Glass. The goal is to install a proper commercial grade entrance system that works with the needs of the clubhouse and avoids creating access control, ADA, or safety issues later on, or issues with the fire department later on. This is one of those projects where the cheapest answer on the front end was not the best answer for the association long-term, because we need it done correctly and safely in a way that fits the actual use of the building. So we'll be moving forward with the proposal from Action Glass that was approved last month.
Thank you. Time frame at all on this, do we know?
We have to get a permit and they have to get the door in probably 10 weeks or something like that. Everything takes a while with the windows and doors.
All right, thank you. New business, the Tice rezoning update. I think Eric has been the one kind of following up on this one, so if you want to share what you know about it.
And on the way in tonight, you saw that map on the table and the letter from the county. That is their response and the proposal and the response. So Tice Industrial Park rezoning application, case number 2026-00014. This is the proposed rezoning of approximately 59.85 acres. I'm surprised that was 60 acres, located adjacent to Pine Ridge. The request is to rezone the property from multifamily residential and agriculture to an industrial planned development. When you came in tonight, we had the printed copies of the proposed site plan on the table, along with the county's review comments from various reviewing departments. I wanted everyone to have the opportunity to see the proposed layout and the county's comments directly. That being said, some of the documentation provided through the county can be difficult to interpret if you have not worked with this type of material regularly. So I'm going to summarize where the application stands and what the county has identified so far. The most important point tonight is that the project has not been approved. It also has not been deemed sufficient for even a public hearing yet. Lee County reviewed the application and issued what are called consolidated review comments. In plain English, that means the county reviewed the applicant's submittal and identified a number of issues, questions, and deficiencies that must be corrected or addressed before the application can move forward. The county specifically stated that the application is insufficient at this time and cannot be deemed sufficient for public hearing until the deficiencies in the review comments are addressed. The county's comments are significant and cover several different areas, including zoning, environmental issues, buffers, open space, indigenous open space, wetlands, stormwater management, traffic, access, legal descriptions, and the actual uses being requested for the property. Beth Workman from Lee County was one of the reviewers, and her comments are especially relevant to us as they deal with zoning, environmental issues, buffers, open space, and compatibility with surrounding properties. That's the critical part, compatibility with surrounding properties. One of the main issues being raised is buffering. The county asked for the applicant to clarify and revise information regarding required buffers, including the buffer along the north property line, which is the side closest to Pine Ridge, our south property line. The county specifically questioned whether that north property line requires a type C or type F buffer, which those mean is a significant landscape buffer and sometimes a wall or fence. Because that matters because buffers, landscaping, setbacks, and screening are some of the primary protections for neighboring residential communities to a development like this. The county also raised questions about open space, indigenous open space, wetlands preserves, stormwater management areas, and whether the plan properly shows and calculates those areas. There are also questions about whether stormwater and preserve areas are being labeled correctly and whether the proposed plan meets the county's open space requirements. Another important issue is the proposed schedule of uses. The applicant appears to be presenting the project as light industrial, but the county noted some of the proposed uses may be more intense or may not fit properly within that category. The county asked the applicant to revise and clarify the proposed uses that are consistent with the industrial plan development zoning district with the surrounding area. The county also noted Some uses listed in the application, such as certain manufacturing-related uses, shredding and composting, and other more intense uses are not considered light industrial and may need to be removed or revised. That is important because the actual list of uses will determine what could eventually operate on that property. Traffic and access are also still under review. The county questioned parts of the traffic impact statement, including assumptions about traffic growth, access points, traffic distribution, and whether traffic study matches the actual proposed uses. So the traffic has not been fully resolved at this point either. The proposed site plan shows the general industrial park layout, including internal lots, access points, stormwater areas, and preserve or open space areas. It gives us a general idea of how the applicant is trying to lay out the property, but the county's comments make it clear that the plan still needs revisions and clarification before it can proceed. So the simple summary is this: the project is still in the county review process, it has not been approved, it has not been scheduled for public hearing. The applicant has a lot more work to do before it can move forward. From Pine Ridge's standpoint, we do not need to panic at this time, but we do need to stay alert. Our concern is making sure that if anything is eventually approved next to our property, the county fully considers the impact on our community. That includes buffers, screening, setbacks, drainage, stormwater management, traffic, lighting, noise, hours of operation, access, and the actual types of industrial or commercial uses that will be allowed. No formal action is required tonight unless the board wants to give specific direction, but this is being brought forward as an informational update so the board and membership understand where the application currently stands, so we can continue monitoring the process. Management will continue monitoring the application and will bring it back to the board if it moves towards a hearing, or if the material changes, or formal association action becomes appropriate.
Can I ask you a question? Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
What is it? I don't understand, what is meant by industrial, and light industrial? Like, what kind of business, what are we talking about? What kind of business?
It could be, it's very broad. And that's one of the things that the county is saying they need to do is rein it in and tell. And then some of the stuff that they have, like composting, shredding, stuff like that, like a big forestry resources type mulch factory, that's not compatible with the community right next door, especially when the community has been there for a long time before that. So light industrial to me would mean like self-storage, would mean, that's stuff that we could accept nearby us. However, if there's going to be heavy duty manufacturing, if there's going to be trucks at 4 o'clock in the morning, heading out to do whatever they do, heavy duty mechanics, stuff like that, that's stuff that we want to question and we want to find out. And based on everything on this, they're far away from being approved. The ingress and egress, they only show one entrance and exit. That was one thing. They have to have 2, so they're going to have to cut through one of their lots. Turnarounds, they don't have any proper turnarounds. There's a lot of specific comments if you read that consolidated review that are pretty interesting, the hoops they have to jump through. It seems like a long way away, so I'd be interested to see. I would think they would have known these hoops before they submitted to the county, so I wonder how experienced they are or not.
Do we know about how many feet back that this will even start? I mean, the buffer zone, how many feet from our line back to where like these lots start approximately?
That's going to be the next thing on the agenda that we talk about. But like they'll propose a 15-foot buffer maybe, and really it's supposed to be a 50-foot buffer with that type of thing. So we need to make sure that we get what we're supposed to get if that impact ever even happens. It seems like they're a ways away, but you never know. If they were given the proper instructions, if they follow them, maybe they can resubmit and get it moving along. You never know.
That's what I wanted to clarify, because I must be an idiot. I looked at this thing left, right, upside down, turned it around and tried to figure out where we are in line with all of this. So is this the same property that Habitat for Humanity and everything else that we're going to do?
Correct.
It
Yes.
is the same property. Okay. So no matter what, the parameters that we set for that 150,000 that we got will not change, correct?
No,
It will not, or?
No, it won't change. Now they're changing the use. So like we negotiated a fence along that fence line. If the county requires something much more substantial, like a block wall or something like that, and then 50 feet of landscaping in front of it, then that would meet or exceed what we were looking for. You know, a residential home in another gated community backing up to our lake with a fence behind it, we can accept. A machine shop fixing engines,
No, I
you
get
know,
that,
we
yeah.
need to have.
Okay, because this shows back here, this shows wetlands, right? This is where we are. right?
Shows wetlands backing up to where the condos are, that curve, but then the straight line there is,
That's the lake. Okay.
yeah, so if you're looking at this, if you point it to the top, so north, that line, it's on, that's why they call it the north property line, it's the north line of their property.
All right, thank you.
So we're in contact with her name's Beth Workman, and we're gonna keep a very close eye on this.
All right. The approval of the southern boundary then, the survey proposal.
Yeah, last month the board asked me to look at having finding out our new boundary line, which with the news of this industrial area makes it even more important that we know what that is. So Banks Engineering was acquired by Atwell. However, they have everything to do this. This ties directly with the south property area, generally running from the corner behind the recycle area down along the bicycle path. As the board knows, the association completed a transaction involving the property to the south. Transaction resulted in approximately $150,000 in proceeds to the association. Because of that and the future development they have planned, it's important that we have a clear and professionally documented understanding of exactly where our southern property line is. We reached out to Atwell. They gave us a price $2,500. This is not just a rough field check or someone walking the property and giving us an informal opinion. Atwell will be performing a signed and sealed survey, which gives the association a formal professional document that can be relied upon for future planning, maintenance, and property use decisions. This is important for a few reasons. First, it helps confirm exactly what property belongs to the association in that south boundary area, which I think everybody wants to know. Second, it helps us understand what space is available before the board considers any future improvements, structures, shelters, landscaping, pathway changes, or any other work in that area. Third, it helps protect the association from guessing. Before we spend money or make decisions involving that property line, we should have a formal survey and know where our boundary is. The cost of this survey will be paid from the $150,000. And because this work is directly connected to that area, that is appropriate. This does not approve any future structure or the project itself. It simply gives the association the information that it will need to make future decisions in that area. The main point is that we do not want to guess about our boundary. We want it properly surveyed, staked, and documented before the association makes any future decisions in that area. And $2,500 is an excellent price. $5,000 plus for signed and sealed is generally the going rate. So we will be moving forward with that.
This was a necessity, and I don't think there was even a need for a vote or anything like that. It was just acknowledging the necessity. I gave Eric the authorization to go ahead and get that thing going, so. All right, I guess that's everything, unless anybody else has any questions up here, comments?
Do we need to approve?
No. No, I already gave them the okay to go ahead and get it going, so, yeah, we're not voting on it, so. It's been approved, let's put it that way.
We got it for a price that was low enough that we could approve it.
All right, let's go with the open forum then. We have a couple people that signed up. John Mal.
John Mal. John Mal. Mal. Who?
Skip Valley. John Mal, 9618 Windsor Club Circle. As you know, I thanked you all last time for volunteering all your time and your efforts I did ask 3 questions last month. I gave you a month to answer the questions, so I haven't received anything on that. So I'll re-ask the questions, and you can tell me what you want to do. Did you change the governing docs?
I will answer that right now. No.
No, you did not. Have you changed the standards for window replacements on the hurricane windows for the villas and single-family homes?
There's been no changes. Everything is still running through whatever the normal procedure is for approvals, but there's been no changes.
So they still have to be single hung in the condos and villas? I mean,
The condos are
in the
private,
villas
yeah.
and the single-family homes?
Is there a certain issue that you are concerned about that you want to bring up?
So I understand that some new residents were given the permission to have the sliding windows in their villa with a fake molding that does not meet the criteria according to the governing docs.
And so the criteria was that they would look the same, correct?
No, they have to be the same.
The form and the function, so they function differently. People save 7,000, they have cheaper windows. They don't have more than one.
How does it change that?
Function slide, that's right, but they have function.
All right, we're going to talk about this more and bring this back to you, John.
Okay, I know there's no language barrier. They weren't from a foreign country, so I'm sure that you'll be able to get to that. On your door, will that also interface with the computer IQ network that you have in case we need emergency signals for safety and stuff? Okay,
That's
all
why-
right.
That's why we got to switch to a real company that does commercial stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Oh, Bob Tolles, come on up.
Robert Tolles, 4685 Blackberry Lake. It might reside by the time I get home, but it was pretty deep. I'm glad to hear that it was cleaned out. Right now, I'm not sure if it's making a difference or how Shannon got out of her garage to get here, but anyways, I certainly don't want to be out of line. So I did my research with and I have responses from Research and Training Specialist Education Section Division of Condominium Timeshare Mobile Homes, Florida Department of Business and Professional Regulation.
What's your question, Bob?
I have 3 minutes. House Bill 2021 and the statute. So I want to briefly bring an important compliance deadline to the board's attention regarding our legal obligations under Florida law. As of January 1st of this year, 2026, crucial updates to the Florida statute section 718.111 officially take effect. These changes significantly lower the threshold for digital transparency regarding any condominium association with 25 or more units maintaining a secure password protected website or mobile portal for official records. The Florida legislature made this move in wake of recent high-profile management scandals, rising structural maintenance costs across the state. The clear intent is to give unit owners complete, unhindered transparency under how their community is being governed and how their assessment dollars are spent. By maintaining digital access, the state has eliminated the traditional hurdle of owners having to make formal physical record requests to see basic operation data. Under the updated statute, we are now legally required to provide owners with secure login credentials and to access core documents online. This includes our governing documents, rules, budgets, financial statements and secure inspection reports. Crucially and specifically related to us, we employ our manager. The law dictates that all active contracts must be published on this portal. This means our manager's current employment agreement contract must be uploaded and available for owner review. Failure to comply with these digital transparency standards opens the association to state enforcement actions, compliance penalties, unnecessary legal friction with our owners. Because this deadline has already passed, we need to ensure our digital house is completely in order. Therefore, I'd like to propose that we formally direct our management and legal counsel to audit our current portal immediately and must verify that our manager's contract and all other mandated documents are uploaded and confirm all eligible unit owners have been issued their secure logins. Let's protect the board and serve our owners by making sure we're 100% compliant in this transparency law. Thank you for your attention in this matter. If you have any questions.
Thank you. Thank you.
I have a supply list that I would be glad to share with you. I only have 3 copies.
Yeah, we can make copies. We can share.
Sure can.
We'll share.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. All right. There's nothing else. Anybody else have any comments on anything we talked about tonight? Mr. Durkin.
Pat Durkin, 4642 Blackberry. Just want to say I was a little late coming in. As I went past Shannon's house, the water was flowing freely right down the sewer. So
All right.
maybe I'll make it home.
I should be able to
Good. Thank you.
Yeah, and that area where the outflow is in that field, we're gonna be digging that out and making it a proper drain area.
Back by person. Yeah,
Correct,
that's usually
yeah.
what it probably
Because, right, we're worried about stuff washing back in there right now, which was what we,
It's a hard rain. I mean, everything was so.
pretty cool how they do it with that big truck.
Vicki Franzen, 4612 Blackberry Drive. Regards to the pool, I know that Bruce does the chemicals, but how often does he actually check where the levels are of the chemicals are? Because
Every day.
there's algae growing in there and the pool
Vicki,
water.
I'm going to stop you for
stinks.
1 second because this is a management issue that actually should be addressed at either the Wednesday meeting or just ask him. It's not an issue to come before the board. I'm sorry.
And he checks the chemicals every day.
Just trying to kind of keep it so that the things that come to the board are the things that really should come to the board. So, all right, then if there is nothing else, I make the motion myself that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you, everybody, for coming out in the rain. Nobody melted.
I have a question. You know these palm trees that you planted along the way here, talking about
Some of these things.